What's going on, everybody? It is Gray, aka the Okagray, and I actually, for a split second, forgot my intro. So if that's, well, yeah. Either way, we're back with My Hero Mondays. It was never going to be gone forever. It was just sometimes you get a little caught up in things, and admittedly, with the holidays coming up, maybe I'll have a little. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, like the video, subscribe, comment, or all that stuff. If you did, obviously, if you don't, then don't do those things. But we got a juicer today. We got a juicer chapter, mainly for one thing, and it was the thumbnail, let's be honest. But, you know, details. Either way, this chapter, so we see Stain's escape from Tartarus, which is pretty cool. A guy who's clearly a bad person. Because remember, Tartarus is for the bad people. Gets killed by Stain. Pretty cool. Thanks, Stain. Solid guy. Good guy, Stain. And then one of the guards, if not the one, I don't know if this is the guard that we know, but one of the guards was like, we need to practice for our life. Are you a man or a beast? And he's like, I'm a beast, but I care about society. So luckily, Stain came out. He sees All For One. He's like, screw that. And he dives in the water. He's talking to, by the way, I forget his name. Scott? Yeah, I can't. This is the name. This All Might's cop friend. He like is unshaven and frankly, it's kind of hot. So bonus points for that. And the cat cop. I love him so much. He's in like SWAT gear. They're basically like, our intel was wrong. They also go into detail a little bit. It was actually kind of cool. They kind of discuss the vestiges scenario, whereas the vestige All Might in like Deku's spirit conscience gets stuff from All Might. He knows what All Might does, but All Might doesn't really know what the vestiges talk about unless he's in close proximity. Then he can kind of feel out the conversation, like how when he was with him at the hospital. So we get a little about that, but All Might's like, I don't know how he's communicating with Shigaraki so well. Obviously we know, but they don't. And they also drop a bomb on us that Shigaraki's body is going to be done in 3 days. In 3 days' time. This is the same reaction I had. The cat cop. Oh. So he's early. And then we get the juice of the chapter. We cut to the United Nations, I believe. They talk about their heroes. We get, apparently some of these heroes appear in the movie. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. But we obviously get Egypt. Hero Salam is quickly losing patience. He's taking Wondering I'll flatten that All For One. So this is one of the, so we get a lot of bombs dropped here. At least not bombs, but like, we get a lot of information bombs dropped here about like how much this is affecting the outside world. I don't know who Big Red Dot is for. That one's a little more mysterious to me, which is this line hero. But apparently he really wants to help. They all know All Might, right? All Might put in a request. They all want to help. It was a request from like Hawks, Endeavor, and All Might, and they all want to help. Because obviously All Might was a world-renowned hero, so they are wanting to help. But there's a lot of like, they talk about how if heroes, especially if a lot of heroes, if heroes leave their country, then crime is going to spike because they're like, whoa, that hero's not even here to mess with us anymore. So especially organized crime, they talk about how there's going to be a huge jump, so they have to be careful on how many heroes they send. And it is also cool because apparently All For One does have connections throughout the world. And this is known. It's not like a secret, but they're like, hey, this is a thing that we know about. And that's why he's such a smart mastermind, because he knows that if they leave, he's going to do some other stuff. So no matter what, stuff's going to be bad. But it's cool to hear that the heroes are like eager to help. And they know this is bad. They know how bad it is. They're like, why can't we help? And then we get the one. And then we get to America. America's like, yeah, so our hero left already. We couldn't stop her. And then we get the America's #1 hero flying on a bomber to Japan. Star and Stripe. Wow, okay. A lot to unfold on this one. First of all, the fact that she's flying in on a bomber is so cool. It's the most American thing I've ever seen. It's so stupid. And she clearly does take inspiration from All Might. You can see a lot of All Might's, like, even the hair is very, and apparently All Might helped train this woman in some way, shape, or form, because she specifically says my master. So clearly, and like, as I said, her design is very, like, you can see the All Might inspiration. And it's like even her outfit, like even like the belt is very similar to All Might's like Golden Age belt stuff. Ignoring the fact that she has huge knockers, which is hard to ignore. Let's be honest. But geez, Star and Stripe, #1 hero in America, trained by All Might. It makes sense. Another question that a lot of people have had, which is completely fair, is like, what about Captain Celebrity? And we know that I believe it's 4 or 5 years after Vigilantes right now in the canon. It's about 4 to 5 years after Vigilantes. And we know, very minor Vigilante spoilers, that he was going to try and be a better family man when he went back to America. But it would be strange to me that if Japan really needed help, he wouldn't show up, considering he had like a lot of stuff here. He had a lot of friends and relationships that he had here that I was hoping that he would want to. Obviously, doesn't mean he's not somewhere. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get him. But I would be pretty disappointed if we didn't get Captain Celebrity at all anyway in the main series, especially with America helping. I would want Captain Celebrity. Plus, he had good character development. I'm attached to that character. He's one of the best parts of Vigilantes, in my opinion. And he was really strong. I'm not going to dismiss that. Captain Celebrity was pretty legit. Especially for like a normal hero. He definitely would be in the top 10 of Japan if he was like fighting here. So definitely want more of that. We don't know anything about Star and Stripe. First of all, I also feel like the initial translation said Stars and Stripes, and I might like that better, but Star and Stripe is fine. It's fine. We can assume she's strong, right? Trained by All Might, America's #1. America's a big frickin' place. So we can safely assume that she is pretty strong. Now, some people are a little worried that her introduction is going to amount to, wow, she's so strong, and then she's going to be used as a example for how strong Shigaraki is when he wakes up and then bodies her. Or she'll be integral to the main plot, or she won't do anything. I guess this is a good bridge to talk about. I don't know yet. She just showed up. This is the first time we've seen her ever. So I'm holding out any opinions until we get a little bit more. But as far as like how we are moving so quick. If the final battle, I'm really worried because if you don't know, a lot of promotional material in Japan for My Hero is going on right now and says the final act. I'm really worried that we are going to get like a 20 chapters left or something. I'm legitimately scared. And that's going to be its own video. Whenever we do, no matter what, whenever we get it, it's going to be its own video. Like that's just how it's going to be. But there's a lot of things I want to see. There's a lot of loose ends. And as I said, I've always had faith in Hori, but like if, for example, if this is the last arc right now, it's going to need a lot. It's going to have to be the biggest arc in My Hero by far for me to be satisfied because there's so much that we still, we don't need, but I still really want to see and know. Like a ton of threads, a lot of character growth moments that as I said, I'm worried, but in reality, we know that there's some solo stuff happening. We still have Shoji's arc, apparently. He's going to have like a mini thing going on with him, which is going to be sweet. And then apparently Monomoa is supposed to be like a big deal at some point. So there's plenty of room, and I'm only worried because of how much I'm seeing of like, this is the end. Shigaraki's wake up in 3 days. There's a good chance this isn't the final confrontation, right? And I honestly shouldn't be, because I still think Shigaraki's moment needs to be that he kills All for One and he truly becomes the symbol of fear himself. I think that's like where his character's going, and I want to see it. And if they like fight now, like it'd be all crammed in one. It'd be his like rise, downfall, all in one fight. That's just like too much. But yeah. So this chapter, sweet to see some international heroes. We finally are getting a national hero to show up. I do think this would be a pretty good way, like a breaking point to go to somewhere else. Maybe the villains. I would love to see like Dobby and Spinner, or even Toga. What Toga's up to, where they take Mr. Compress and Gigantomachia. That's a lot of questions. Like Kurogiri, there's a lot we could do with villains. We could do 1B. I still want more with Class 1A. They need to talk about Midnight. It is ridiculous that we haven't talked about Midnight, really, with Deku. I don't even know if Deku knows about Midnight. Like, I don't even know if he knows. He hasn't reacted, so unless I'm forgetting something, I don't even know if he knows that Midnight's dead right now. Crazy stuff. But that's what I want most of all. I want more Class A to interact with each other more than like the cute like we're doing it together. Like yes, that's fine, but like you guys should be in therapy, like every one of you. So let's talk about it. But yeah, good chapter. I'm really excited to see what Star and Stripe can do. Obviously, my expectations are pretty high because her introduction was sweet and she's the number one here in America. So yeah, represent. Woo! Either way, I think that's gonna do it for me. So once again, hopefully video out on time. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you're here for all that goodness. And I'll see all of you next time.